Hello everyone, I would like to start with speaking about the type foundries and the type specimens which I have collected and which are printed during the colonials in India. Moving ahead, we were being first approached by the Portuguese on the peninsula of the great huge coastline what we have, and the first we were approached, or the first missionary press I would say, that was happening 1500, started in Goa, followed with Quilon, Pinnacle and Cochin. It also happened that the first missionary press was actually opened in Ambalabdu in 1675 for more awareness about the religious forms, and then later on the first printing press in 1700 was actually established at Tharangambadi in Madras, followed by Hooghly, Vepuri, Calcutta and Bombay. In 1800 the presses were at Serampore, Madras and Bombay as well, and then lastly in 1900 still the extension was going on in Madras, Bangalore and Surat due to a lot of emergence and independent presses which happened after the post-independence in India. So yeah, before that we were being ruled by the Portuguese, Dutch and Britishers. Carrying this presentation ahead, I have actually sum up this type specimen collection what I have, and we are going to look by one at a time. So this is the specimen of Shakikabai Harivallabh Das and Sons type foundry. It was found in 1883, and this specimen is printed in 1935. The type foundry was actually based in Bombay near Kalba Devi Road. If you see from the interior part, this is the title page printed on litho, and all the faces used here are actually from the foundry itself. This is Mr. Kikabai himself, and the story of the foundry goes like that. So he and his brother came to Mumbai in a way to get more richer, and because he was more ambitious about what he was doing in his early age as grinding and electroplating, he thought that he would try his luck going to Bombay and then see if he can pass over the skill what he has as a jeweler when he used to design jewelry in gold and silver with a very intricate and detailed manner. He thought that why not to try a hand in making electroplatings, and him and his brother actually came from Surat and went to Bombay. He met Mr. Sheth Manikji Minochar Homji. He is a proprietor. He was a proprietor of Bombay Samachar, and he was interested a lot of ups and downs in 50 years. It says that the progress and the reputation of the foundry has gained during that 50 years due to its superiority, constant maintenance of standard metal. So it says that his foundry was one of the best for producing very fine cut detail in the font and as well as the electroplating as well. Here, just referring to the standard page system for the typesetting on the visual aspect of the typesetting, where he has used two columns to dictate and to understand that how different point size can be set accordingly. Also, if you will see that the top mastheads are having names of Indian freedom fighters. I'm guessing here that he would have dedicated each of this metal font in the name of these freedom fighters. So as an example, if you will see, this is a Gandhi series he has dedicated to the Latin font, and not just the Latin, but I guess the style which is nearest to Latin is also dedicated to Gandhi series. Also, you can see here is There is a Tukaram series and there is a Keshava series. The Keshava series more decorative. See, say it again. Dada series more of a high contrasty. So I'm just assuming that maybe he would have given this kind of a style of a metal font to the personality of a person as well. Um, like this is Kamala script. So he has also used female names to verify the fonts as well. Um, he hasn't mentioned anywhere where the original name of the font would be. It is mostly on the characters or the definition he wanted to show it through the series of letters what he used to produce. Um, um, Second thing is this is the Canaries series where Canaries is actually Kannada in now time, and it also says that he was the first one to actually cast Kannada and Marathi type metal types. So and was also known for the pioneer as setting up in Kannada and Marathi type. So yeah, this is the section of Indic scripts. This is a Marathi. If you will see, there is a difference between the typesetting, what he would have done it in the previous pages of Latin and then the Indic script, because it's more open, they are more wider. And also on a base of moving forward, this series would also have typecast ornaments, election series. So when you say election series, it means it's political series. So that means he would be printing for government documents as well. Here I'm just comparing characters to see how tiny they were according to the proportion. Art Deco, it is Indian type cuts. So mostly seen on scriptures, literatures. There are borders, frames. The book is actually, the border, if you will see, it's been printed in four color. That was a blue previous, this is a red, and then brown, and then there is a green color. So just to show a variety of it, and then you have a multi color as well as blue and green imprints. Numerals as well. He also used to sell furnitures, and these are the electro blocks, which he was being known as the specialist of. So so one sample of the block itself. This is another one. This is a copper block. The size would be around 2 centimeter to 2.5. These all have different sizes, as you see. It should be around 9.5 centimeter by 7.5 centimeter, and this would go around 4 inches to 3 inches. So I think there were different sizes according to the need as well, and according to the medium as well. So they were being printed not just for let's say in a book, but also for advertisement, for religious books mostly, then newspapers. So yeah, this you can even see some of the English influence. We have it in the cars and bicycles, the beer drum. So it has a kind of a mixed plate of various, I would say, drawings and illustrations from the English era as well. This is Queen Victoria's motif. Some glasses for commercial use advertisement, series of watches. Even for school books, university books, advertisement in newspaper. As an example, here it is mentioning about the hair, so maybe most probably used in a hair shampoo or something like that. Here, our page is dedicated to the freedom fighters and Rani Lakshmibai. Um, it's a whole, I think a spread is actually dedicated. There's a printer as well in the corner there. These are the masthead patterns mostly used on government letterheads and business cards. These are frames. Yeah, so this is the specimen. Thank you. To look at the deeper understanding of the type specimen, I have also found a printing example of the Akan series, which is printed in the specimen, and these are some of the observation I have made on some characters. This is the letter D, and if you will see, the top matra is sitting a little bit out, and then the bottom round curve of the letter D is also sitting a little out. This shows the variation and constraints that would have happened between the type specimen, means between the type foundry and then the printers. So these kind of observation gives an understanding that how a letter form would have changed, maybe drastically, or maybe the conventions were followed on the point of view of different perspective of the reader or the viewer or the printer as well. This is the letter A, and it's the first one is actually printed in a book. The second one is from a type specimen of Shaki Kabai, and the third one is a type specimen influenced by Shaki Kabai, which is the quality type foundry. So you will see same character, same Akan character, but which has actually given or had modified or maybe transferred during the printing constraints, or maybe the style or the the analyzation of the character, which gives an interesting approach to how different catalogs or the specimens which actually I have found gives these annotations that how these things would have changed. Also, this is another influence I have found between the characters, the English character letter form, and then that kind of a style or an approach have been seen into Hindi letter form. So this notch little coming out is actually been taken from another font as well. This is another example called open typeface. It's a name of a typeface, and which the influences carry forward into an Hindi style of letter as well. Moving ahead, these are the electro blocks or the copper blocks, you can say. I've tried to understand and see how detailed each line or the stroke of the character has been given to address what God this character illustration may be. This is just a chart of the whole electro block which I have found. These are the original pieces in copper and bronze itself. This is another foundry which I'm going to talk now, a quality type foundry. Yes, it's a transliteration issue. It's a quality, not quality. On the other exploration, I have here a type specimen from Sri Ranganathan Type Foundry in Bangalore. It was founded in 1966, and this is a Kannada type specimen in the beginning. If you will see, it has a horizontal format. So the book opens like a manuscript, like an old Sanskrit manuscript, and it has a nice border as well to look more of a manuscript kind of idea. This is the Latin text. It has a nice detail of two columns, like on a each sorry, two column on a spread as a text format, and then later on it continues with title text and heading and taglines. So the book has been actually segmented from starting from Indian script, then going towards English, and then border, and then so and so. So this borders are also printed in multicolor to get an idea of how would they look when they are printing on a multi-layered one. So normally I have noticed that the most of the Indian specimen, they have actually adopted to show more colors in decorative elements and motifs and the type cuts as well. So I think that is been followed in all the specimens so far. This is another one called quality type foundry. As the word it mentions, it's a error in the translation. I would say that because it says quality instead of quality. So it's a very Gujarati, typically Gujarati translation that happens. Interesting bit of this specimen is that there is no such typography structure has been followed, and it has just been read as two boxes, top and the bottom, mainly followed like that in entire index scripts. And then when you go towards the English one, they have nicely paragraph done into a frame system. I think mostly to show the text type with a point size, and also with different point size. So then each typeface is actually known, starts from the higher to the lowest one. They have also tried to put display as in one sentence, or let's say two or three sentences. The funny bit of this catalog was that it has this amazing translation of English, literally, let's say sentences like temperance is everything is requisite for 1 2 3 4 5. So it's just because they wanted to attach a norm of numeral and text type. So they've tried to mix and match an idea of a phrase with a number, which actually sounds very funny when you read them. So there are many interesting phrases like that has happened in there. So as an example, win their hearts, and you have all men's hearts and and purses. So then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 10, and that's just amazing. Like to get an understanding of how a numeral would work with with the text itself, they have played some interesting bits in the typography here. There are many typos. I haven't marked them, but when I used to read them, each of sentence I used to find one or two typos instead. So yeah, this is printing types from Surat, Gujarat. This is another specimen of 1980s, the National Type Foundry, printed in Bangalore. I think this foundry was mostly just for type blocks. I think specialized in type blocks. So this is one of the uh, metal block I had with the phone, very old style phone indication, which I actually found it in the specimen itself. So it was very interesting to see like what proportion it would be, the font itself. Yeah, it has a lot of god images. I would say mostly all Indian images, Indian god images. It seems like they were very much into producing motifs for religious books. This is another specimen from Sri Ranganathan Type Foundry. which I have mentioned earlier as well in the video, and later on I have another specimen as well from Madras, which is Swadeshi type foundry. It's printed in Chitranati print, and I will be speaking about it more in the next slide. This is another type foundry catalog known as Swadeshi type foundry, printed in Chintadeprit, Madras in 1991, and the foundry was established in 1906. He is the founder of the foundry himself, Mr. T. Anurangam Mudaliar. Interesting bit of this catalog is that it's a horizontal throughout, and a very thin frame kind of a layout is going through from front to back as well. Also, another interesting bit is that only three style of Kannada letter forms are being seen in this catalog. So it starts from the highest point size, which is 96 point size, and goes towards 8 point size. That is the one character. Then the another character starts from 72 point size, goes to all the way to 8 point size. And the third style of Kannada letter form starts from 24 point size, goes till 8 point size. So these are just the variations you can see. This is an 18 point size, this is a 16 point size. Just to get an idea that how each paragraph, which is a full-fledged paragraph, would look into 3 different or 4 different point sizes. And it almost looks like a manuscript, as I would say, like a Sanskrit manuscript or something like that. The format is like that. It's been given. So this is how it runs all over through the catalog. This is the last page. This is the numerals, which has dotted figures, split fractions. All are in Kannada numerals as well. On the back of the page, there's another set of characters which might not have more than some point size. Little bit information about the foundry here, how this specimen have been made, on what machine have been made, and they were also used to deal in machinery supplies for the letterpress itself. So I guess that's a detail they have been given here. There, and also this interesting bit here is advertisement. I would say it's that they are unequal for reliability, durability, and finesse. So I get this was an information page for them. This is the materials they are selling it for for the machinery, and this is the language chart. Almost 14 languages they have printed in the catalog itself. So this was designed and printed at Chindrapet in Madras. Thank you. Another catalog from Raja Type Foundry, again printed in Bangalore. I'll be speaking in the next slide about it. This is another catalog printed in Bangalore called Raja Type Foundry. This catalog was printed in 1991, and the foundry was established by Mr. Munnaswamy in 1966. The whole catalog follows a kind of a pattern with a frame layout, and in the center the typesetting is done on starting from the highest point size going to the lowest point size. The first page was Kannada, and then moved towards Brunda series. Tamil also, he has two styles, bold and Roman. They used to keep Roman as sans, as a term for their identification. Also, there are various Latin typeface you can see here. where if he has more than 4 or 5 typefaces in one family, he would have again arranged it in a way that it starts from the highest point to the lowest point. I think he had a lot of title and heading cases. You can see it here. And interesting bit is that he has also renamed the typefaces in some certain Indian female names as well. These are Greek letters. I guess he would have casted it here in 10 and 12 point size. Rest of them, the pages follows with a lot of border. Yeah, so different point size as well, different treatment as well. So this is the Raja Type Foundry catalog. Thank you. Specimen. I just found out this another example where the Brunda series has been printed. So this is a book printed in Bangalore in 1958, and these are the transformation I could see between the type specimen and the printed character itself. This is the letter Da. It has a little bit of a variation in the size, I mean to the height of the character itself, and the bottom of the letter is switching a little bit off, but the second letter N is actually printed very well, and it seems like the cut has been set very well as well. This is the National Type Foundry, as I mentioned before, which was only dealing with the type blocks, and that's it. Thank you for listening me, and I think thank you Wayne Schools for letting me speak about my analyzation, and a big thank you to Mr. Sanjay Choksi, who has helped me to gather this presentation. Thank you.